Hello everyone and welcome back to my B&B Everyday YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. There will be plenitude of drama. First over, Lee and Penelope Poppy have another argument. Still this bone leads to a stunner discovery. Meanwhile, Carter and Hope face a complication when Steffi returns to the office. Lee and Poppy will get into another argument. These sisters have no way gotten along. Still, after Luna was fractured framing her own mama for double murder, Lee tried to support Poppy. Of course, the peace didn't last. In Monday's occasion, Lee and Poppy get into another argument. This time it's about Poppy's parenthood chops. Still, the fight about parenthood chops leads Lee to conduct an disquisition. It seems that Lee finds a reason to look into the identity of Luna's real father. Lee finds security and leads to a stunner battle, and could change everything for Luna. It'll change Bill's life as well. While Luna did kill Tom, could she accept Jack as her biopater? It would kind of let Bill off the hook trying to fix Luna. Speaking of Luna, she continues apologizing to Bill. Still, does Bill realize that Luna has a new preoccupation? Bill's son Will? Steffi will return to Forrester Creations. Steffi stands in the CEO office with Carter, Hope and Brooke. Steffi comes in asking for a job. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers Monday, January 13, 2025. When Hope asks about Steffi's unforeseen change of heart, the question isn't answered. Steffi redirects by reminding Carter and Hope that they promised she could come back to the office at any time. So now that Steffi is there, Carter and Hope might feel compelled to keep their word. It doesn't mean Carter and Hope will like it, however. Hope asks Steffi what she's really over to. Also, a Skulk Peep print shows Carter lowering distrustfully as he shakes a smiling Steffi's hand. Steffi's return and Daphne deception will surely beget some complications for Hope and Carter, so stay tuned. Steffi signed Daphne. Steffi is induced that Daphne can help her return Forrester Creations to its due possessors. Still, there's commodity ripe about Daphne's incense. Let's bandy the incense problem and how it could turn the entire cleaner upside down. The Forrester family is still reeling from Carter and Hope treason. After Justin couldn't help, Steffi came up with a creative idea. Daphne was introduced during the week of January 6, 2025. Daphne stormed into Forrester Creations demanding an incense line. Daphne indeed advised Fanny to back off or she'd no way work in Paris again. Fanny didn't take offense to this at each, and gushed about how Carter and Hope need to take Daphne's deal. Fanny also called Daphne a goddess. It was nearly as if Fanny and everyone differently was under some kind of spell. When Daphne walked into Forrester Creations, Hope and Carter asked if she had any samples. Daphne simply took her scarf off and gestured it in Hope and Carter's faces. Hope and Carter closed their eyes and deeply gobbled the incense from Daphne's scarf. Hope and Carter were bedazzled with stars in their eyes. All over a nice-smelling incense. Also, there was Steffi, who could smell Daphne before hearing or seeing her. It was Daphne's scarf that advised Steffi that there was someone differently in her house. Steffi was also fully charmed by Daphne's scented scarf. While it might have just been that great of a scent, there seems to be commodity going on then. Daphne's incense nearly acts like a medicine. The comforting look in their eyes as they gush about what a goddess this woman is. With essential canvases, certain scents spark certain passions in the brain. Occasionally, people can get some weird passions or responses from a certain combination. So, perhaps the incense is analogous ever. While utmost people might get passions of bliss and adoration through Daphne's scent, what if it has a bad response once released to the public? Could Hope and Carter's character be ruined if enough people have adverse responses from the incense? It would also explain how Daphne is suitable to charm indeed her fiercest challengers, similar as Fanny. Daphne to encounter Rich. Lee blows up after learning about Penelope Poppy deception. Also, Luna continues to catch on a veritably fascinating Will. Lee Finnegan's disquisition. Lee's support of Poppy could come to an end. Lee and Poppy have always been at war with each other for one reason or another. Since Poppy's preface, however, suckers always wondered what the verity was about Luna's biopater. Although it was inferred that Tom was Luna's father, that turns out not to be the case. After further conflict with Poppy, Lee decides to probe. That leads to a Skulk Peep print that shows Lee gaping into a medical biohazard cooler with lab technician April. While Lee investigates, she'll remain cryptic. Lee will be determined to get to the heart of the matter. What Lee finds out, however, will devastate and rankle her. By the end of the week, Lee has the security she needs to defy Poppy. Lee and Poppy are at the sanitarium fighting. As Poppy cries, Lee explodes over Jack being Luna's real father. Over at Bill's place, he'll continue hiding Luna. It's not really clear what Bill's endgame is with Luna. Does Bill suppose he can really fix the angelic periodical killer, or is there commodity differently going on? Luna does keep offering Bill justifications. Also, Bill asks Luna to describe in detail how she killed Tom and Paul Holla. Bill has asked Luna this before, the day of her transfer. So, perhaps commodity isn't relatively adding up for Bill. Meanwhile, Will comes over to visit his pater. Formerly again. Will mention to Elektra how he feels bad that Bill is each alone in that big house. So, Will probably spends further time with Bill. Still, Luna will continue to be charmed by Will as she spies on his private exchanges. Steffi has come up with a plan to get Forrester Creations back in her family's control. Steffi is using Daphne to divide Carter and Hope. Steffi keeps bringing up that no man can repel Daphne, and that's exactly what she's counting on. Steffi returns to the office and asks for her job back. While Hope Logan is suspicious, Carter Walton keeps his word. Although Steffi gets her way, Carter looks enough irritated in a Skulk Pete print. It's also teased that Steffi introduces her secret armament to Ridge Forrester. Despite the way that Brooke looks in a print and the daily exercise clip, she's actually on board with Steffi coming back. Brooke gets the feeling that Steffi's return could help her get Ridge back. Plus, Brooke and Taylor Hayes will face off. Steffi to put her plan into action. Still, Hope is cautious. Meanwhile, Luna tries to smooth effects over with Bill. Also, Lee and Penelope Poppy get into a fight about Luna's real pater. Steffi has a plan on how to get the company back in her family's hands. Steffi is formerly having Daphne Rose deceive Carter Walton and Hope at Forrester Creations. While Daphne is an incense queen in Paris, her charge is to break up Carter and Hope. Steffi thinks that if Hope isn't with Carter, also he'll do the right thing. Steffi to march into the CEO office to get her job back. Steffi wasn't technically fired and was asked to stay on after the preemption. When Steffi talks to Carter and Hope, Brooke Logan stands by, still looking worried. Carter is caught off guard by Steffi's request. Hope wants to know why Steffi changed her mind, but she doesn't answer that question. Steffi does remind Carter that they said she could return anytime. So this puts Carter in a tough position. Hope's alarm bells go out, so she'll question what Steffi is really over to. Luna gives Bill a reason. Luna will explain to Bill that she loves his liberality, and it's one of the several reasons she wanted him to be her pater. Lee and Poppy to fight. Poppy heartbreaks while she puts her hand to her mouth. Lee faces Poppy and screams about how Luna's father is none other than Jack. With Luna formerly killing one possible biopater. Will she target Jack too? Or could Jack just be the right Joe to steer Luna in the right direction?